Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sharon, and this is Classy Shay's Designs.
In today's Tumbler Tuesday, let's work with some chunky glitter. So I went outside and I spray painted this 20-ounce Hogg tumbler. I did a ombre on it because I was going to do something else with this cup, but I decided to just go ahead and use it to sample out the new glitter that I received from T-Glitz. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put some epoxy on this glitter, but let me get this stuff out of the way so I don't mess it up. I just put a thin layer of epoxy, not as thin as you would if you were using fine glitter, because on chunky glitter you want to have enough glitter on the cup in order for it to sit. And I also think that using this chunky glitter will be kind of neat because we'll get a chance to see how it'll look on this particular cup since it's ombre. So we're putting a fairly good layer of glitter onto the tumbler. I want to make sure that my bracelets are inside of the glove here because I don't want that epoxy to get on my wrist. Sometimes my bracelet rubs across the epoxy and then I have a little allergic reaction to it. So always wear your gloves and your safety mask, and be very careful if you're working with epoxy. I'll glitter my bottom, which generally you guys know that I don't do that, but I'm going to go ahead and glitter my bottom this time. And the reason for me that I don't like to glitter the bottom is I have a hard time getting it to sit level after I've glittered it. But we're going to go ahead and try it again this time. Never give up. Just keep trying until we get it perfected. So once I've got a really good layer of epoxy, not too thick, not too thin, I'm going to come in with my glitter. And this glitter is a classy blend. I'm so excited about it. I talked about it before, and I think I even showed you this tumbler in my last week's video where I had it sitting waiting. This is a classy blend glitter. It's a beautiful mixture of silvers and golds, and look at how that sparkles. I mean, it's like, man, it's beautiful. The gold to me is the strongest color, but others have said that they've seen the silver be a little stronger than the gold, but I think it's just whatever color your eye picks up, right? And so it's silver and it's gold and it's thick chunky cuts of glitter, and it's fine glitter and it's medium-sized glitter all mixed together. Just for me, it is a limited edition is what I'm told, and so if you don't get it now, you may not ever get it, because I don't know if she's going to bring it back, but she created this just for me. She said when she made it, it reminded her of me, and it's the Classy Shay blend. So you can see what it looks like on the three different bases. It's a little hard to see in the color on this screen, but you can see that the black is showing it at the top a little bolder. The gold makes it a little more of the color. It's pulling out that gold color a little more, and the white just gives it some sparkle. So it really is sparkly. I'll leave the information link below, but on the screen you should see right now Classy Shay blend, and there's a code Classy Shay. If you use my code when you go to her website T-Glitz, you will get a discount. T-Glitz.com, and I'll leave that down below. Look at how pretty this is, and the light is really hitting it. It is adorable, you guys. I'm so proud. I love it, and I'm so honored that she thought of me when she mixed this color together. That's T-Glitz with Classy Shay Design, and T-Glitz is, she started her glitter business as a means to help prepare her for college. So if you help her out, just know that you're helping a young lady go to school as well. So I'm going to put the glitter on the bottom, which of course I said I don't normally do, but I'm hoping that we will have this one turn out better than some of my other ones, and we'll move forward. I am loving the color on this. Alright, so I'm going to just let this spin a little bit more because I think we have excellent coverage on it, and I want all the glitter to fall. And I'll go ahead and put the glitter that's on here back into our envelope. The next thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and put our gloves back on, and we're going to smush down all the glitter. So when you're working with chunky glitters, you want to make sure, like I said, that you have enough epoxy on it that it soaks the glitter in. But you also will need to go in with your hand or with some kind of tool. I just use a gloved hand and pat down the glitter, because you want this chunky glitter to lay as flat as possible. You want it to adhere pretty even and flat to the glitter. And the reason for this is the flatter you get it, the smoother you can get it to lay down onto the epoxy, the less sanding you'll have to do after you do your flood coat. Sanding on glitter is, you can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you sand too much and you get through the first layer of epoxy, you can start to change the color of your glitter. And I noticed that a lot when I've worked with color glitter like greens and reds, and I sand on top of them, then all of a sudden it has a silver sheen across it. It's because we've sanded the color off of it. So you want to make sure that you don't have to do too much sanding, especially when you're using the chunky glitter. Once this was done drying, I went ahead and printed out my logos that I'm going to put on it. And I'm going to just use this because this is going to be my cup. So I'm going to put my little saying, "Keep it classy," on top of there. Okay, so here's my logo, but before we place this, I just want to show you that what it looks like. I did have to do a little bit of sanding, but not a whole lot. And you can see areas where it's kind of dull at. Those are spots where I did some sanding, but again, it wasn't much because I had a really good coverage on it. So taking my logo, looks like I need to varnish that just a little bit more. Let's try it from this side, because sometimes you can varnish them, but I'm using a metallic vinyl, so it's a little harder to come up. But let me varnish this down just a little bit better to make sure that it's covered and that we have it, the vinyl letters adhered to the, let's try it now. Okay, now that's coming off much better. Like I say, sometimes these metallic vinyls are fickle, and sometimes they'll just stick on and come right on off. And I also use a different kind of transfer sheet. It's one that I picked up in a big roll from Amazon. So although I love it, sometimes depending on what kind of vinyl you use, it could be a little more challenging. Okay, so we're going to place our cup back into my little homemade holder, and we'll find a good centering for our decal, and we'll just lay this down. Now, I'm not too worried about it being centered right now as far as front and back of the cup go, because nothing's on the other side, so this will work perfect here. And I'll just varnish this down and we'll be good to go. Okay, so this is what it looks like with our little logo, our little saying on it. Now we're ready for our water slide. And what I did, I'm so cheap, you guys, right? I take the excess water slide paper that I have, and I'll save it. And I just took this piece and taped it to a bigger piece of paper and ran it through my printer and allowed it to print on it. And now I have this little bitty square. So this is all literally that was left of it. I took it outside and I spray painted it with some clear coat. I think I used the Krylon 2X. Let that dry, and now we're ready to just cut this out. I could run this through my Cricut, but I don't want to. It's no need because it's on a clear water slide piece of paper. The edges and all this stuff along the side are going to disappear anyway. So I don't want to cut it out on the Cricut. And besides that, if I do cut it out on the Cricut, all of these little intricate small pieces, it literally will cut them out unless you put a backing on it. So just using some room temperature water, I'm going to go ahead and put my water slide paper inside of the water. I'm not worried about it being curled up or anything like that, because as it starts to sit and soak, it'll get straightened itself out. And just finding the side that you want to put it on. You know when your water slide is ready. Do you see how we got that movement there? When it's ready, it's going to move around just like that, and it will slide off of your your paper backing as easy as you just saw. Now wet your fingers. Make sure that your fingers are moist when you're working with water slide, because you, one, don't want to crack the water slide, and two, don't want to rip it. So just using your fingers, start smoothing out some of the bubbles and making sure that you have it where you want it to be. You have a few seconds to work with it before the glue that's on the back of the water slide actually sticks to your project, so you can work with it. I then take a paper towel and I dip it in the water, and holding down my water slide, I just rub out some of the water that's underneath it, the excess water. This also helps rub out the air bubbles, and if you have it sealed well, it won't damage it. Now it looks like I'm rubbing it harder than I am, but I'm really going over this really, really light, and I got a little bit of movement still, so I'm going to hold it down with my finger. That's what the water slide looks like. Yes, that is me. Yes, this will be a conceited cup, and no, I don't care. It's my logo, my cup, my face. Classy Shay Designs. Keep it classy. And you guys, this is what it looks like under the last layer of epoxy. Look at the shine on that. I almost can't even tell which direction to hold it in the camera because it is so sparkly and the lights are picking it up every which way I go. This is Classy Shay's Classic Blend, only available at T-Glitz and only available through her website, tglitz.com. And you guys, I love it. Keep it classy. I'll see you in my next video.